Hello everyone, I, Ardit and my friend Albion will give you a short brief about internal labor market, also called as ILM. The definition of the internal labor market is, market where pricing and allocation of labor is determined by a set of administrative rules and procedures. Internal labor market is an administrative organization where the remuneration for labor and the distribution of labor resources are regulated by the body of administrative rules and procedures. The analysis of the goal of external and internal labor markets division, and the examination of the factors affecting the formation of internal labor market allow us to define the reasons for the creation of such a market. They can be characterized according to two available directions of advantages, the internal labor market and development of human capital.
The definition of the subjects and the objects allows finding out major functions of internal labor markets that it fulfills. 1. Providing the workers with various social defense and guarantee of employment. 2. Provision of specific professional training and development of the workers' human capital to innovation changes in organization. 3. Retention of the most valuable part of the workers, possessing high human capital. 4. Maintaining the definite level of socioeconomic conditions for realization of the forms of human capital. 5. Provision of the equilibration of demand and supply of human capital inside organization. Internal labor market characteristics are, firstly, long-term relationship between workers and firms. To quit a job imposes costs on the firm. Hiring and firing costs, job as an investment for both sides. Secondly, job hierarchy and internal wage structures. We go a step further in that we are also decomposing the overall movement of cohort salary by gender, graphically presented for men and women also in Figure I. Figure I not only plots real average annual cohort salary but also real average annual salary of all employees and real average annual entrance salary against time. There are three types of internal labor market: little ILM influence where small enterprises, more personal, highly competitive product market; heavy ILM influence where public sector and large establishments in manufacturing, utilities, and some services; and moderate ILM influence lots of points of entry and very short job.
Internal labor market efficiency aspects are: long-term relationship maximizes rents, limitation of entry points and promotion from within, clearly defined wage grid, limited variation for wages related to external labor market shocks, and wage design for workers to behave in firms' interest. Internal labor market is important for analyzing the three observations about economic changes, which are: the first one is increased competition on labor market, second one is technological change, and the third one is frequent changes of jobs, employers, and careers. Implications of ILM in labor analysis are: wage determination, collective bargaining which tend to increase the rents going to workers, unemployment or which provide explanation for wage rigidity and consequently unemployment, and labor market segmentation, where the labor market is not homogeneous. Workers in internal labor markets are sets of non-competing groups. Workers may or may not compete with each other within internal labor market but never between internal labor markets. And internal labor market as short-term constructs.
Internal labor markets arise in industries or organizations that have sufficiently stable and high-volume product demand to sustain stable employment. What is important is that internal labor market has relatively short-term construct, inevitability of market forces. In the graph we see the median years of services with current employer, men and women aged 35 to 54, by age group, 1983 and 2000. As we can see, the median years differs in various years of service. And there is a difference of median years between men and women.
This was our short brief video presentation about internal labor market. Thank you very much for listening, and we hope you learned something.
Created using Powtoon.